Okay, let's get started. Stone Sword, that's going in C tier. It's basic, it's good, it does your damage in the beginning. Pretty good. C plus tier, I put the Iron Sword. It's really good in the beginning if you get it out of a starting chest, but other than that, it's just mediocre. B tier, Diamond Sword. Does a lot more damage than the other swords in low tier, and that's why I put it there. B plus tier, however, is the Sharp one. Does the same amount of damage as the Diamond Sword. However, it looks like a Sharp 2, which could confuse enemies, and you want that. Sharpness 2, I put in S tier because of how many games it wins alone. Not because it's broken, it just wins so many games with it. It's good. And now we're moving on to the fire aspect. I don't like fire aspect. I think it's probably one of the worst swords in the game. Unless you have Stone Sword. It's probably better than that. Let's say you're attacking with your main weapon, like the Sharp one. That's gonna do more damage, the Sharp one alone, than if you switch off between fire aspect and your main weapon. So, I put that in C plus tier. It's about the same as an Iron Sword. Not really that useful. Moving on, we're starting with the Diamond Armor. Protection 1, Protection 1 boots, and Protection 1 helmet. That's going in S tier. Even though they got nerfed in the last update, they're still really good. It could take you about like 5 or 6 hits. Good. A tier, which has the feather falling boots. I don't see a point for feather falling, even though it makes you shiny, which is good. Same tier is the regular diamond boots, diamond helmet, diamond leggings, diamond chest plate, and the blast protection diamond chest plate. Yeah, I don't see a point for that. I think Hive was worried about boombox spammers, but there's really no boombox spammer. A tier. Then moving on, we have the B plus tier, which belongs to the Iron set, and the Chain Helmet. The Chain Helmet in the Hive gives you the same amount of armor points as the Iron Helmet, which is good for luring because it makes you look weaker, even though you have the same armor points. It's good. The Iron Respiration Helmet, I wanted to put this in F for Fire Charge tier, aka please delete tier. There's really no point of respiration in the Hive. It can't get you out of water traps. Even though it's iron, okay, I'm gonna put it in, I put it in the same tier as Iron Helmet. It still gives you protection. Protection 1 chest plate, that used to be broken. I was gonna put it in A tier, but because it's now not as broken, I put it in the same tier as Iron chest plate. Then we're moving on to the protection, the projectile protection Iron chest plate. I don't see a point in that because while wearing that, I felt no difference in the bow damage. And really, nobody uses the bow that much. That's why it's there. The rest of the chain set is going in C plus tier. Not the helmet though. It's good. Let's talk about boomboxes. Boomboxes are okay sometimes, but so here's my ranking. Knockback boombox, A tier. It's as good as an Ender Pearl. It's good. B tier, regular boombox. There's a bit of trapping with it. Still pretty good. C tier, I put frozen boombox there because it has a use. It just slows your enemies down. D tier is your poison boombox. It sucks. There's literally no point. It poisons you for like half a second, and then that's it. Barely doing any damage. So, D tier. Ores, which gives you the, boomboxes. Let's talk about those. Gold ore. I put it in C tier because it's really random. It could give you a lot of good stuff. It could give you a lot of bad stuff. Mostly the bad stuff. It's mediocre. That's why I put it in C. Another ore in C tier is the lapis ore. And it's really random. It has a 1 in 4 chance to give you a spell book. It has a 1 in 3 chance to give you the spell book that you want. Or 1 in 4 chance if you're playing Sky Royale. Which is basically, you'll never get what you want. You usually get a trash book. So, that's why I put it in C tier. Iron ore belongs in C plus tier. When you need blocks, you can mine it. When you need arrows, you can mine it. Really useful. But it's still kind of random. I feel like whenever I need blocks, it just keeps giving me arrows. And that's why it's in C plus tier. In B tier, however, we have the emerald ore. And some of you people might be thinking, emerald ore should be with the diamond ore. Well, I don't think that's true, because emerald ore could give you like 3 fire aspect swords in a row, because there's not that many enchanted items in the game compared to the diamond ore, which could actually give you better stuff in comparison. Diamond ore, B plus tier. I just explained why. In S tier, some people might not think it's that broken, but S tier belongs to redstone. With redstone, you could get 5+ absorption hearts, which makes you to 15 hearts. However, if you eat a golden apple, you could bring yourself to 17 hearts, almost the double amount of health as a regular person. So that's why it's broken. It could basically double how many hits you could take. What does lapis drop? Spellbooks. Sure, we could talk about that. Spellbooks. Here's my tier. Life is going in A because it regenerates 4 hearts. If that's really good. In B plus tier, I have the swiftness one. It could get you a way out of tight situations. It's good for comboing. It's good. C plus tier, I have insta-leap. It's kinda good for maybe like a trap where you could jump out of a hole and surprise people, but other than that, I don't see a good use for it. D plus tier. Oh my god, I wanted to put this in F for fire charge too. Fire trail. When did you use it to be like, oh my gosh, that saved my life? No. It usually sucks. Sometimes even burns you in the process, making you lose even more health. That's why it's in D plus tier. Lapis is not the only ore that can drop useful stuff. Gold could drop mediocre stuff, like the golden apple. I put it in C tier, the same as the stone sword. The reason why I did this is because, okay, you could get extra absorption hearts, like I talked with the redstone. But when are you gonna ever find the golden apple? It takes forever to find the golden apple and the gold ore. I don't know if it's just my luck, but it usually takes me about like 20 tries to find it. That's why it's at C tier. It would be higher if it had a more common chance to drop from gold, but that's just me. D plus tier, we have the cobweb. It's kind of good for a trap, maybe. You could use it to run away, which is kind of good for that. You could web someone, and they have to break it. That's why it's in D plus tier, next to fire trail. Then we're going down low. Fire, F for fire charge. Yeah, it's going in F tier. Fire charge usually is really bad. Along with the bling boots. Those things are so shiny that you can see them across the map and think, okay, I'm gonna go get them. Because they're usually bad if you're wearing bling boots. That's why they're in F for fire charge. Gold can also drop andesite. and you need andesite to get better loot, go to mid, A tier. Arrows, which could also drop from gold or iron ore, that's going in the same tier as bows, which is B tier. They're good, I guess. Not really. Gold, I find the only purpose of it is to drop snowballs. And snowballs could win you so many games. They're good for comboing. They're good altogether. S tier. The emerald ore could drop enchanted items. We talked about that, but knockback Nemo. I was gonna put it in S or B tier. I put it in A because there's a few flaws. One, if your opponent has really bad ping, they won't take any knockback. Two, if you're crouching, you won't take any knockback either. That's why it's in A tier. Moving on to our final set of items, starting with the things that you spawn with, axe and pickaxe. Starting off with axe, B tier. It's really good for trapping. It's really good for making traps. And it can mine wood, which is also in B tier. Wood is underrated in the fact that it's easier to get than having a random chance with the iron ore. And it's harder for them to break. Pickaxe, you basically need that to win too. A tier. Ender Pearl, same tier as Knockback Boombox, which is an A tier. It's really essential, could get you out of tight situations. It's good for those montages. Bow is in B tier because, you know, it starts with B. It has to be in B tier. And also because it got nerfed in the Hive. It's still a long-ranged weapon, so it's B tier along with the arrow. And I think that concludes our tier list for this video. Again, I don't usually make these types of videos, so if you would consider subscribing, it helps the channel a lot. You can always unsubscribe later. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.